yet another title as the men's team go for their 23rd straight and the women's for their 24th. Despite that, there's definitely plenty of challengers right behind them. You can definitely expect some real fireworks today as all those teams are gunning for the Lakers' top spot. Just in a few minutes here, we'll be underway with the women's race. Gun will be going off at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Just a little rundown as we get going. The box assignments are as follows. In box 1, it will be the Pride of Purdue Northwest. Box 2 will be the Lakers of Lake Superior State. Box 3 will be the Lakers as well with the Grand Valley State. Box 4 is the Roosevelt Lakers. 5 will be the Northern Michigan University Wildcats. 6, the Michigan Tech Huskies. 7, the Wayne State Warriors. 8 will be Parkside. 9 will be Saginaw Valley. 10 will be Davenport. And 11 will be the Ferris State Bulldogs. Just before we get into it here, just a quick couple storylines. Of course, Grand Valley has to be the favorite, having not lost this event since 2000. But right behind them, spots 2 for 6 will definitely be up for grabs. Just a couple of teams that are truly capable of taking those top spots. Within the conference, there are a couple of regionally ranked teams. Grand Valley ranked first in the Midwest right now, second nationally. Saginaw Valley State is ranked 6th. And conversely, Michigan Tech is ranked 7th. Northern Michigan also ranked 4th. As we're just about to get underway here, runners trying to get any last thoughts out of their head, and they are off. Al Owens starting us off. This moment in the race is going to be super key as you want to get out here, as it is such a wide start area, to a good start to get up towards the front of that pack and set yourself up for a good next 20 to 24 minutes. Ultimately, like I mentioned, Grand Valley, they are the 4-time champs since COVID, 23 straight coming into this. Since COVID, they have had 3 perfect scores in 2021, 2022, and 2023. Saginaw Valley has had 3 top 5 finishes since COVID. Northern Michigan, 2. And they are actually the most recent team to dethrone the Grand Valley State Lakers with their last conference championship coming in 2000. Ultimately, I think the main team storyline here is going to be, I got to imagine that the Grand Valley Lakers are going to be going for that perfect score, get back to their winning ways of the early 2020s. However, these teams aren't going to just let them have it. This is what a lot of these teams are gunning for. They know the Lakers are the cream of the crop, and they know what it takes to try to take them down. As you take a look here, as again, we're just underway, this is the course map for the women's 6K race. This is their typical distance, jumping from 5K in high school. This course is, of course, located on the eastern side of the Calvin University campus, but today hosted by Davenport University. They're going to start and finish in about the same area, but they will go out and do approximately 2 loops. You're going to hit the hill twice, which that is going to be one of the more challenging aspects of this course, or once, excuse me, and that is one of the most challenging aspects of this course. It is a sharp downhill directly back up into a sharp uphill, and that comes right around the 3 kilometer mark, and it is, or 3 mile mark, excuse me, and that is an exceptional spot to hit it, as you're going to be running there on E, just fighting for that last K or so, fighting for position. It's going to be one of the most crucial times in the race for sure. Up front, it appears that we do have a decent amount of the Grand Valley team up front. In the blue, Lauren Kiley, of course, the name to mention. She is the reigning 2024 Division II Women's Cross Country National Athlete of the Year. With that title, of course, comes big expectations, but I guess you are more than deserving if you are the reigning national champ, as well as Midwest Regional and Gliac champ. This year, she has also been a 2-time Gliac Athlete of the Week when she has raced. But ultimately, you can see a small little breakaway pack is forming as these runners come through about 3.5 minutes into the race. Yeah, most definitely a large crowd here on hand. It definitely helps being in Grand Rapids, so centrally located to so many of these key universities in the cross-country scene. They're working through, coming back kind of along, heading over towards the hill. Some other key names to note up front are going to be Dubois, Michigan Tech, a potential freshman of the year candidate. She is returning home today. She's originally from Caledonia. Maddie Samansky for Northern Michigan can help the Wildcats potentially secure a top 2 finish. Best of 21:37 on 6K this year. Another 2-time Gliac Athlete of the Week, and she missed this meet last year due to injury. They are now going down into this hill section. You can see how aggressive of a downhill this is, and it is a tough climb out. Ultimately, this first time through, these athletes are going to be feeling pretty good, but this is something that they will most definitely be feeling later on into the race. Just past the hill, too, will be our first live result split. So we will be able to take a dive into how these team standings are potentially shaking out. Of course, with how it appears right now, it would look Grand Valley is going to be taking an early lead. And it's Lauren Kiley and Allie Arnsman coming across 1 and 2 with Maggie O'Malley and Nellie Mello just behind. Parkside, though, preseason picked number 2. They've had a bit of a down year coming into this. They are not ranked in the top 10 regionally, but they do have 2 in the top 6 currently through 2K. It is Abby Steiner and Johanna Ebert that are pulling through. And excuse me, that is a mile mark. Currently waiting for our live results update here a little bit so I can give you a updated team standing. So right now, through that first mile, are the Grand Valley State Lakers leading with a dominant score so far of 17. Those 2 Wisconsin Parkside athletes breaking up the perfect score. Grand Valley with runners 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 7th, respectively, with their top 7 rounding out 9th and 10th. The Northern Michigan Wildcats are currently in 2nd place with 78 points, with 1 in the top 10. Saginaw Valley in 3rd with 96. Wisconsin Parkside in 4th with those 2 lead runners, but they're going to need their 3 through 5 to step up if they want a big result today. And then Wayne State is currently in 5th, just 19 points behind the Rangers at 131. Ultimately, though, here, 7.5 minutes into this race, Lauren Kiley is looking very strong up front. This is going to be something where, she was the favorite coming in, but maybe as this race unfolds over the back half, can someone close down on her as she's coming back along that main stretch? Rest of the GV team packed in right there. There's 2 Parkside runners as well. But Grand Valley with an absolutely strong showing so far. As you can see, ultimately, you may or may not know, in the conference meet, while the top 5 do score, 6 and 7 can push, do run 12 runners. Individually, what that does mean is top 20 are all conference, but anybody that is, say right now within the Grand Valley team that is outside that top 7 for their respective team does not count scoring. Showing back here again, Lauren Kiley looking really strong out in front. Got a pretty interesting mid-pack race. Those spots 2 through 6 we always knew were going to be up for grabs. And ultimately, it is leading up to it through the mile. Still very early, but it is definitely shaping up to be a very good race. Some of those top names, as we saw come through the mile marker, like I had mentioned earlier, Kylie, of course, the favorite. But Allie Arnsman, runner-up last year, also the runner-up at the region. She's coming in with a best time of 21:04 over 6K. And Maggie O'Malley currently in third, the redshirt senior, with 21:32. She is a returning all Gliac runner from the previous season as well. Right here, we're currently, if you remember that course map earlier, we're in that back left side, snaking around, similar to the 2K mark. We're going to be making our way over there. Down and through the woods. But ultimately, this is going to be really where these teams start to settle in. Just about through halfway here, as Lauren Kiley just about to come through that marker. And she is through 3K in 10:08. Karen Kiratu, 10:25, 17 Valley, moving up 5 places since the mile. Maggie O'Malley in third, Mello in fourth, and Howell in fifth, as Grand Valley currently is perfect scoring that top 5. Get back to team results here in a second. Grand Valley has all 5 through, but Saginaw, Northern, and Tech both have 2. Rounding out that top 10 and fifth, Megan Postma was tied dead with her for that 5th place. Annika Sandman in 7th. Ashley Chaponis, one of our Freshman of the Year candidates, in 8th. Hannah Dupois from Michigan Tech in 9th, battling for that. And then Carissa Picard in 10th from Saginaw Valley, rounding out that top 10 with Saginaw in 10th and 11th. Tech's got the 12th place runner, Sophia Ryan, and Northern Michigan having that 13th spot with Sophia Potter. We finally have some unofficial results here through 3K. Grand Valley, like I had mentioned, with the perfect score so far, they actually have the top 7 runners. They're looking really strong. Michigan Tech has moved up. They have 9th, 12th, 17th, 18th, and 23rd, respectively, for a score of 79, while the Northern Michigan Wildcats hold up strong in 3rd with 3 in the top 16. Saginaw Valley just had their 5th run across through, as did Wayne State. They were 4th and 5th, respectively, with Saginaw staying at a score of 99 and Wayne State at 120. Now, keep an eye out for the Ferris State Bulldogs as well, as they are in 6th currently, 4 spots behind Wayne State. This could be potentially a lookout for their highest place since 2022. As we cut around this corner here, Lauren Kiley, she looks amazing right now. She is gapping the field here just over 13 minutes in. course, 17 seconds through the 3K is no gap to Fat, and she is definitely capitalizing on these fast conditions here. This is a course that's over the past few years seen a reconfiguration, with Calvin University now building their track where the old start and finish line used to be. Right now, she is snaking behind the tennis courts, coming through here around the 4K mark. And she'll ball fields here, and in a couple of minutes, just be running right past our tent here. Ultimately, it's going to be a long straightaway we'll be able to see once she comes out of this kind of tunnel of trees. And she'll be heading second time. This is really where your race is going to make or break. How do you handle that lactic acid? How do you handle all that fatigue starting to settle in? And this is truly, as we come down, this is where those all-conference spots are going to be. And this is where the champions are truly forged. As we cut back to that long straight here along the throwing pits for Calvin University, it is Lauren Kiley still out in front, about 6 to her teammates in second and third with Kirtu and O'Malley. Grand Valley, though, packing it in. They've got 6 right now, way out in front, but they're developing. If you could have seen it back in the background there, about 6 to 7 runners, and that is going to be that edge of the top 10. That is that coveted spot for a lot of these runners, with it being the gateway to first team all Gliac. Sides too, making their way back up to the front. With the card of Saginaw Valley in there, and then a horde of Grand Valley athletes, of course, as well. But those two are going to be key to Parkside's success. They were really good. They were picked to finish second reason, like I mentioned earlier, receiving 1 first place vote. But this year, they've had a couple injuries, it seems. Lauren Kiley here, attacking that deck. This is where she can really show truly how dominant she can be. You want to lean into that hill, stay on your toes, pump your arms, get real big, and fight up it. She looks really strong right now. As do that whole front packet right now. While we do have here 4 or 5 minutes till the finish, it's a quick course. That front packet, we're going to see a lot of good racing here, and it's going to come down most definitely to the wire. That mid pack race, it's going to be just a couple places that separate second through sixth. I mean, ultimately, how do you handle the back end of this? As we're now coming through the 5K, Lauren Kiley coming through in 17:09. Allie Arnsman has closed down that gap just a little bit. It's down to 11 seconds as she comes through in. Right now, our results begin to populate in. Maggie O'Malley at 17:42 is in third. Curious to see either if that hill claimed a victim or if we're having, as there was somebody with Arnsman. Mello for Grand Valley in 4th, and Kiratu down to 5th. As we get to team standings, Grand Valley is the only one with all 5 through. Again, in a perfect score. Abby Steiner is sitting in 6th with Ebert of Parkside. They have worked their way back up. Howell has dropped down to 8th with Newman in 9th. Monica Sandman in 10th. Maddie Shemansky in 11th. Postma of Grand Valley in 12th. And Ava Peters in 13th. Curious to see how Arnsman is able to handle this 10-second gap here in this final K. It is, but she should be able to make it interesting to say. We will most definitely see. Dupois, or Peters of Wayne State, Dupois of Tech, and Chaponis of Northern Michigan separated by 3 seconds right now, and that potential freshman of the year. Right now, team results here as we're getting down to the nitty-gritty of it all. Grand Valley, perfect score 15. 1st through 5th, and they're 5th and 9th. Northern Michigan, 5 in the top 20, looking really strong. Running is a great pack, and that's really what you see a lot in these championship meets is the power of the pack really can come through. Saginaw Valley running in 4 points with their 5 in the top 25, so really a bunch of points up for grabs still there. Wayne State in 4th with 110. Their top 5 as well in the top 30. It's not a big gap for those, and Parkside and Tech are right on them. There are 15 points that separate 4th place Wayne State to 6th place Michigan Tech right now. It's going to come down to those key runners. The 3rd through 6th or 7th can push a couple of people back here, and that is really going to be the deciding factor. We've got Lauren Kiley finished with the 2 right behind her. We're going to have 3 girls just around that 20-30 mark. Grand Valley looking super strong. You can just see that. But for many of these runners, a season's best. These are the races you train to peak for, as Grand Valley has another cross, and they are going to get that perfect score. Here, crossing in front of Grand Valley, and that will be Samansky of Northern Michigan. Right now, Unofficially has clinched their 24th in a row, as they have all 5 through, and it would be for that perfect score. Wisconsin Parkside has 2 in. Northern Michigan has 2 in. And this is really where it gets interesting. Where 3rd, 4th runners kind of line up as these teams battle for these top spots, as these runners battle for the edge of all conference even. Right now, as these results begin to trickle through, it looks like it was a pretty big surge for the Northern Michigan Wildcats, unofficially sitting in 2nd with 62. In 3rd place, it is the Saginaw Valley State Cardinal with 88. 4th is Wayne with 107. Tech 5th, 117. It seems those 4th and 5th runners maybe fell off a touch just to fall to 6th with 133. Ferris State now with 5 in. to be to 170. So Grand Valley, as it stands, they are going to finish with 15 points. Lauren top spot. Maggie O'Malley in second. Natalie Mello in third. Karen Curatu in fourth. And Landon Howell in fifth. For Parkside, they did have the 7th and 8th place runners with Johanna Ebert and Abby Steiner, who was the reigning freshman of the year last year. Landon Howell finishing in 9th with a 21:03. Of Northern Michigan in 10th. Kara Newman of Grand Valley State in 11th. Annika Sandman in 12th. Megan Postma of Grand Valley also in 13th. Hannah Dupois of Michigan Tech in 14th. Ava Peters of the Wayne State Warriors. Ashley Chaponis in 16th for Northern Michigan with a time of 21:38. Maria Widman for Grand Valley in 17th. Carissa Picard in 18th of Saginaw Valley. Whitney Farrell of Ferris, top 20 in 19th. And Violet Herbrovsky of Grand Valley rounding out our top 20. Give us a moment here and we'll add up, see where some of these all-conference spots may lie, and we can get that particular runner you're tuning in for was able to make either the first or second all-conference teams. Preliminarily, this is our unofficial all-conference as it stands. Pick up Abby Vanderkoy, another top contender for the Lakers. She is who comes through in second place, just 11 seconds behind Lauren Kiley. Along with her, Allie Arnsman in third claims another first-team all-conference spot. O'Malley just behind her in fourth. With Natalie Mello, forgot to mention earlier, another potential one of those freshman of the year candidates, finishing in fifth, her first career all-conference nod. She was a transfer from Karen Karatu in 6th, sub 21. And as we break into that 21 barrier, Johanna Ebert in 7th for Parkside, her second straight all-conference nod, but her first-team nod. Minor, a first-team runner from a year ago, and 8th for Wisconsin Parkside as well, with Landon Howell rounding out the last eligible spot for a Grand Valley runner in the all-conference team in 9th. Maddie Szymanski, Southern Michigan Wildcats, and she is our last first-team performer. Starting on the second team, we will jump to Hannah Dupois, who finished in 21:31 for the Michigan Tech Huskies. Ava Peters of Northern Michigan also included, as well as Carissa Picard of Saginaw Valley, Whitney Farrell of Ferris State, Jenna Sweeney of Saginaw Valley, Emma Sweeney of Northern Michigan, with those final 2 spots of all-conference glory going to Alexis Tracy of the Saginaw Valley State Cardinals and Ella Showerman, another freshman out of Wayne State. Their team had a really, especially a year removed from losing a lot of that talent that allowed them to finish in second the previous 3 years. So again, if you missed it, here are our final team standings. We are still waiting on the final 2 teams, the Roosevelt Lakers and the host Panthers. But in first place, Grand Valley State Lakers with a perfect score of 15, their 4th perfect score since COVID, and they continue their reign of terror on the Gliac. Second place will be the Northern Michigan University Wildcats. Best finish since 2019 with a score of 80, and they had 4 in the top 20, all 7 in the top 32. That pack really did it for them. Valley State, one of the top contenders of this conference as well, rounding out in 3rd with 103, just 10 points behind them are the Wayne State Warriors in 4th. Jumping down, you'll get the Michigan Tech Huskies with 127 points. 6th place Parkside, those top 2 runners did great, but they just could not carry it through the middle of the pack, coming in with 141 points, dropping that top 5 Huskies in the last kilometer. Ferris State Bulldogs will be your 7th place finisher with 179 points. Lake Superior State University, one of many Lakers in this conference, just barely right now edging out the Purdue Northwest Pride. It will depend on these final Davenport runners if they were able to edge in between any of these spots. Right now, Lake Superior State is holding a 1-point lead for 8th over the Pride. From a year ago, it does shake out a little bit differently. Grand Valley, of course, setting the bar once again in 1st. Northern Michigan improving from a 7th place finish a year ago to get 2nd, while place up to 3rd. Wayne State from 2nd a year ago to 4th today. Tech staying in 5th, same result as the previous season. Wisconsin Parkside will drop from their 3rd place result last year to 6th. Ferris from 6th a year ago to 7th. Lake State, last year's 10th place team, again, tentatively holding on to that 8th place, while Purdue Northwest finished 9th a year ago. Davenport was the 8th place team last year, but we are waiting still for 2 of their runners to cross. All right, welcome back. We've got off here at Gainey Athletic Complex. Warming up slightly. Temperature around the start of the women's race was about 40. We're inching up closer to that 50-degree mark now. Coaches have just finished giving their final. The men that are about to embark on this battle over the next 24 to 30 minutes. Key storyline here as we are now. Okay. Grand Valley coming in, having won 22 straight Gliac titles in a row. Perfect scored last year, and it sounds like from the Laker locker room that is exactly what they are looking for again this year. Though, hoping to not let them get away with that. They have finished second 3 years in a row. Is this the year that the Cardinals finally break through and dethrone the Lakers? Valley looking for their first team title since 1989. However, they are not the most recent team to unthrone the Lakers. That would be the Wayne State Warriors in 2001. The majority of runners were not happened. You see, getting off here much tighter pack than the women's race had initially. This race seems like it will shape up a little bit more competitively as there 5 to top 30 should be a pretty tight race. And like we've on the women's race, that truly is where those all-conference spots are going to be up for grabs. A couple of men to note. Bahajoni Church, the redshirt junior from Grand Valley State, who's their top finisher at the Pine Invite at Notre Dame. Kobe Fraza, the redshirt senior, he is Grand Valley's top returner from last year. He's a 2-time All-American, 2-time first All-Team. Ranked preseason top 10 cross country via the Stride Report. But that is not all they have. They have plenty of names that we will uncover as they come through these splits, especially that first split. But right now, it's definitely looking like a whole lot of blue out in front for the Lakers. Other names to know outside of Grand Valley. Jacob Walker, the junior from Saginaw Valley. He's ran a time of 24:05 this year. And another returning All-Gliac runner. Jack Labazinski from Saginaw Valley, as well as Adam Thomas and Nick McCardle. Corey Bowers, all going to make the Cardinals really. Here we're getting around to that corner spot, looping back around right before they make that right-hand turn. It's a tight tight grouping so far between the two of them. As you can see, not a lot of room to operate for many of these runners, and that's how this championship racing works. You're going to see a lot of these different packs, and the key is going to be as they're snaking down to this monster of a hill we have here at Gainey. The key is really going to be how can these packs battle. That's where in these packs up for grabs, and really your team results can make or break depending on who you get in a matter of seconds. As we've made it up through there, turning back around, and we're getting close here. In the next minute or so, we should be seeing these come through 0.95 mile mark as they fly down the monster hill and fight right back up. And there's not a lot of room separating anyone too early. Who our main contenders may be, despite the people coming into those top contending names. But if you're watching along, you're most definitely noticing a lot of blues are mostly going to be the Grand Valley State Lakers, and there are rival battle the Valley Saginaw Valley State Cardinals. As we see our runners now just crossing over that 0.95 mark, but Michael Dennis, first place, he's just ahead of Adam Thomas of Saginaw Valley. It's a tight pack in there. It seems that we're missing a couple of those top Laker runners as we work our way through, because there was notably some blue up there, and I feel we may be missing a couple of those, but they came through quite quickly through that mile mark. Michael Dennison named a note. One of the individuals that the Stride Report had touched on just a few weeks ago of potentially being a dark horse for Lansing Community College. A reigning second team All Gliac runner this previous season, and he has ran as fast as 24:39 this year. Some of these guys can really make an imprint. Peck really runs their team through Lency and Dennis. That's where they're going to count on them to make up the most amount of points. As they're starting to get out back to where the as they snake along that drive to go out and about past the tennis courts and around. This is, up to this point, is exactly as the same course that the women have covered. They're about to come to that second corner there and snake out. Again, though, as you'll see here in a moment, that front pack is incredible. A lot of red, a lot of blue. There's Dennis of Tech as well. And the chase pack here forming. Ferris State Bulldogs have a couple runners coming through there. Saginaw Valley and Tech well represented in that pack. Davenport with a couple of runners, and Davenport, in order to have a big day, those two that just Tyler Gugamos are going to need to have a really big day to get the Panthers to their potential best ever result as a university. To match last year as they finished 4th place up at Cat Key Golf Course in Big Rapids, Michigan. To at least match that result today, but it will not be an easy task at all. You can see, though, the sun beating on these runners here where there is no shade. Obviously, it's no on you over the course of a 25 to 30-minute race. You'll have to make sure you don't go out too hard necessarily, and I'm sure all these athletes have been very well hydrated and their nutrition is on point, so that should not be something to worry about. But you've got enough in the tank. You've still got that hill one more time, and ultimately after that, you've still got a lot of race to go, especially with the way these packs are shaking out. But they are coming back around. They'll cut right in between by the tennis courts here in just a moment. And then we will see them come out and around those tennis courts and baseball fields and along that long straightaway along the road. And if you've noticed, the camera's been a little shaky, but you know, if you've watched any number of cross-country meets, you've known that is to be expected. These are, of course, not perfectly manicured tracks like they'll run in the spring. However, they're going to be ruts and divots, and this is, as you're going to see, this is a full-time, year-round cross-country course. But as you can see, it's still Grand Valley Blue in the lead, but it's a tightly packed race right now. Runners in the front group, we've got our initial 3K splits, and this is looking like it's going to be a pretty big race. Right now, we've got Connor Summers, the junior of Grand Valley, in first, as we've started to see some of those tags, seems like registering with the time. And second, Owen Westerkamp of Grand Valley in third, Cardle, Saginaw in fourth, as it goes Valley there, back and forth. Bahajoni Church in fifth for Grand Valley, and Ritter and Ramirez for the Lakers. Key individual contender Jordan Damani of the Panthers, the junior, two-time All-Gliac runner, holding in there in the top 10, as they're just to make the turn onto the straight. And Thomas in 10th. Bentley Alderson in 11th of Grand Valley. Sean Pettis in 12th for Wayne. Dominic Suleiman, one of the more experienced runners on the Cardinals team, in 13th. Nolan of Grand Valley in 14th. And Pollock of 15th for Wisconsin team. And again, these all are preliminary. There's, as we noticed, the mile mark. We struggled to have a few athletes register, but currently the unofficial team standings, with Grand Valley State in first, 22 points, 26 points separating them and the Cardinals. Michigan Tech preliminarily in third, Davenport in fourth, 13 fifth, with Wisconsin Parkside, Wayne State also packed in within 6 points there between 6th and 7th. Currently 13 points separating spots 5 through 7. And just over 3 through 6. Ultimately, as we're seeing with those mid-packs, that's really where this is going to be broken up. You know, a lot of blue back by those blue tennis courts. They're looking like they're starting to turn up the pressure just a little bit here as we approach the halfway mark of this race. This is where in years past you've really seen the Lakers sort of put their opponents away. They ran a really good pack race in years past through the first half or so, and then they really put pressure on the other teams and kind of lay all the chips on the table and see if they can come get them. No wind really of to note, so staying in, while it will have an advantage, maybe not as big of an advantage as it would have had in years past, as it seems our top Grand Valley runners here in just a moment will be making that turn on that long straight. And you can see as they make this turn, this pack is being strung out just a little bit. It appears that it's Peraza in first. Grand Valley having the top 3 athletes, followed by the 2 Cardinals in Saginaw Valley and another Laker. Then about a 50-meter gap to what will be Michael Dennis and 2 other Grand Valley State runners. A Laker, the Monty of the host Panthers, another Cardinal, and it seems a Parkside athlete. As they come to this hill the second time, it is going to be form, maintain their breathing, and stay relaxed. This is really where that hill can it punches you in the mouth. How are these athletes going to respond? Because ultimately here, Mark wants to get past that hill. How can these athletes fight for just under 2 more miles for conference glory? A lot of these athletes, this is what they train for, these meets at the postseason. You most definitely have your coaches at this point and your friends and family who are here watching, shouting out, hey, we need your color here, and we need you to catch them. Our conference hopes and dreams rely on it. Our next split will be at the 5K mark. So very to where that mile is, that positive top turning Laker. Gliac a year ago, we should be getting those splits here in just a moment. And it does seem that Matt is having trouble with a couple of the Lakers back there, as Peraza nowhere to be seen. So we will hold off on giving you any team standings, besides the fact that at a very basic note, Grand Valley and Saginaw Valley look very good. And ultimately, those 2 teams are some of the nation's best. Both of them ranked in the top 10 nationally. Grand Valley currently ranked 4th. Saginaw Valley ranked a little bit behind them in 8th. But as far as the Midwest Regional goes here in the upcoming 2 weeks, they are ranked 1st and 2nd. So these teams are very well acquainted with each other. We'll be curious to see, though, how that battle looks right. This presence at the front of the pack, first and second. However, those top 3 places are going to be it's going to be close on that 3rd spot. Michigan Tech, Davenport, Wayne State, Ferris. Parkside was preseason number 5, and Gliac Ferris was number 6. Davenport looking to prove some haters wrong. They were ranked 7th in the conference preseason by coaches. He can be one of the front runners. He's definitely right on the edge of that first team all conference spot. He's going to be the key cog to them, as much as Michael Dennis and Coleman Lency of Tech will be. As you see, Peraza is looking really gapped 2nd place here. Lakers 1, 2, 3 with Saginaw Valley following closely in 4th. And 6th and 7th, 8th. With Grand Valley here looking to have a stranglehold currently on the conference standings. Michael Dennis there of Tech, one of our top non-Valley runners so far, looking to put his team in a good there. Jordan Damani right there as well. Saginaw Valley and Grand Valley keep rolling on through. And again, this is the point in time where once you get past the top 7 for potentially either of those Valley teams, that we could be looking at some potential as these packs have really strung out. Tech, though, it seems, would have the upper hand over Davenport, Parkside, as far as that fourth spot, or third spot, excuse me, is concerned, as it seems they're packing it in much better as opposed to the Panthers. As we cut back here, Kobe Fraza still pounding away, attacking the ground like it did something bad to him in the field, and showing why he should be considered one of the nation's elite. He was not someone to be taken lightly coming into this race, and man, here he is trying to put a hurt on this crowd. He did have the second fastest time coming into this one, right ahead of his teammate Bajon, as well as Owen Westerkamp, the redshirt sophomore. Right now, though, we are coming to a mile to go. Still seems Fraza in first as turn come around. They will take the long road, though, this time. They will not take that little indentation before the tennis courts. And they will whip around through the baseball fields and make their way turn to make the mad dash to the finish. Connor Summers still standing strong in second place for the Lakers, with Bajoni Church in third. Nick McCardle for the Cardinals in fourth. Jacob Walker in fifth. And Grand Valley's 4, 5, and 6 rounding out the top 8, with Jordan Damani sitting in ninth. Sean Pettis right behind him in 10th for Wayne. So you're seeing a potential battle for the top. Of course, Michael Dennis, it doesn't seem, was registered in there, and he was in between, it seemed, Walker and McCardle. So we'll be curious to see how these team results shake out. If I had to guess right now, I would Saginaw Valley 2, Michigan Tech 3, and then I would truly think it's more of a toss-up between the Panthers and the Warriors. But Ferris is running really well as well, and Wisconsin Parkside is no slouch either. Coming up to that last turn to get on the straightaway here. Raza again, looking really good. He has truly opened up a looking at here now, maybe 100 to 200 meters long. This is definitely a state to whether it be the Midwest region coming up in 2 weeks or that national meet in a month, that he is a top dog and you are going to have to be concerned with him. He looks extremely strong. And his teammate, Mr. Summers and Church, sitting in second and third, with McCardle seemingly fading off the back a little bit. To note, though, Summers for second place. He looks really strong, and again, of course, is one of the top guys coming into this. Grand Valley has their top 5 and the top 6 places right now, with Walker hanging on in 7th for Saginaw. Michael Dennis currently in 9th for Michigan Tech. Ahead of a group of Lakers And as it goes as far as individual and that mid-pack race is concerned, it seems Jordan Damani is starting to fade a little bit here as they cross by. Wayne State's team, but Michigan Tech packing it up well as they come through. But look at Coach Raza. Wonderful little Saturday morning here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. He looks incredibly strong. He's going to be coming to the finish line just a moment here. 25 Gliac men's cross country champion with a time of 23:45. He really put a hurt on that field, and the last Bahajoni Church for second by 1/10 of a second. Here's Nick McArdle with a fourth place finish, followed close freshman of the year candidate right there with Owen Westerkamp, and now Jacob Walker coming in right behind him for Saginaw Valley. Grand Valley has 5 in. We'll come back to you after a couple of these individual results to give you what those standings may look like, but Grand Valley currently with 7 in the top 10. Michael Dennis of Michigan Tech finishing in 10th. Bentley Alderson of Grand. You can see just that emotion and exhaustion that truly hits these runners' bodies as they cross that finish line. It is no easy feat, I tell you, running this hard for that long. Len Davis of Wayne State helping out their case, sitting in 14th, 24:48. Kyler Dean of Grand Valley in 15th. Ian Forrest of Grand Valley in 16th, a freshman. Adam Thomas of Saginaw Valley, second team All-Gliac last year. Of Wayne State. For them to have success today, he was going to have to be a key cog, and he finishes 18th, just 1 place ahead of Jack Labazinski for Saginaw Valley. Jared Platt of Wayne finishes in of Michigan Tech in 21st. Brock Wooderson, 22nd, and Jordan Damani of the host Panthers in 23rd, looking for his 3rd straight All-Gliac nod, followed closely by the Huskies Carrier and preliminarily, Grand Valley is your 2025 men's cross-country champion with 17 points. Second, State Cardinals with 50. Michigan Tech Huskies, it looks, just edged out the Wayne State Warriors, finishing with, as it stands now, in the high. State looks pretty comfortably in 4th, and Parkside, it seems to be in 5th. We are waiting on Purdue Northwest to finish as a team. Roosevelt did not have a team, or will not. They do not have 5 runners that started the race. But we are waiting on the final member of the Pride to finish out that top 5 to give us our unofficial team scores. Lake Superior State starting to have. But tentatively, it is a Lakers sweep once again, with the Cardinals coming in 33 points behind at a total of manage to squash the hopes of a back-to-back perfect year here at the Gliacs for the Grand Valley State Lakers. Michigan Tech going to finish in 3rd today. A good regionally this year, but coming into today they were 7th. But with returning 2 All-Gliac runners, it was it was imperative that they had a good result today, and they do get back to third. Wayne State today going to be fourth since COVID, and they're fifth top five since then. Wisconsin Parkside climbed up a spot in that final mile, fifth, and boy, was that a close one, because Ferris State Bulldogs, sixth place, they have 168 points currently to Wisconsin 7. 1 point difference. It'll depend on if there were any Roosevelt runners in there to potentially bump them back, as they are just now having some of their team members cross the finish line. Davenport, the host, 7th, only had 1 in the top 20, 3 in the top 40. But for that pack, it just was not competitive enough to be able to hang around with the likes of even Parkside and Ferris State. Purdue Northwest, well behind the Panthers at 212 points. They dropped a couple spots here in that last mile as well, just weren't able to stay strong. And the Lake State Lakers, home with the 9th place finish. It does look like, with Roosevelt only having 1 runner in currently, with a couple more here trickling in, that the Roosevelt Lakers will be taking home 10th today. And we will work to get you a tentative list of your all-conference runners, taking out the additional 5 if they were within the top 20 for the Grand Valley Lakers. And here in a few, we will get that back to you. All right, as we have our last athletes here coming. Tentatively, the all-conference breakdown will be as follows. Kobe Fraza with an absolutely dominating performance here today, and just wonderful race ran by him. Pulled back a little bit here in that first 3-ish K and really pulled away the last 5K of that race. Finishing in first. Connor Summers of Grand Valley second. Bahajoni Church in third. Nick McCardle of Saginaw Valley, Freshman of the Year candidate, in fifth. Owen Westerkamp in sixth for Grand Valley as well. Jacob Walker in seventh for the Cardinals of Saginaw Valley. Nathan Rittering of Grand Valley in eighth. In ninth, he was the last eligible Grand Valley runner for all conference, as he was the seventh man. Quite an impressive feat to have the 7 in the top 10. Very similar to what the women were able to do. Down a couple times throughout the broadcast, finishing 10th for Michigan Tech, and he is our last first team all Gliac runner. As it goes for second team, Corey Bowers of Saginaw Valley in 11th. Glenn Davis. Adam Thomas of Saginaw Valley. Sean Pettis of Wayne State. Jack Labazinski of Saginaw Valley. Jared Platt of Wayne State. Zebedee Swager of Michigan Tech. In the final 3 spots, holding it down, as he was able to fight through that last half K and finish within an all-conference spot for the 3rd time in his career. Alan Carrier of Michigan Tech and Eddie Snyder, 5 overall, and your final 2 spots as it regards to the all-conference standings